All right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Edwin, and this is Political Headache. We are coming to you live from the studios of Political Headache here in the capital city of Nairobi. Wherever you're watching us from, we are very excited. But also, the members of the fans of SIFUNA are very unhappy this evening because SIFUNA has been expelled officially by the ODM, Orange Democratic Party. So, many people are asking, how did SIFUNA come here? I mean, the studio with ODM, the man with the knowledge, political pundit, political expert. So let's go to 2016. The removal of Ababu Namwamba as Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement followed months of internal warfare. Ababu, ODM had built an independent power base, controlled party communication, and challenged the authority of party leader Raila Odinga. Now, his expulsion closed a chapter in which the SG's office competed with the party leaders' center. Now, in 2017, there was a vacuum. After Ababu, ODM treated the SG position as a liability. The party leaned on lawyers, trusted operatives, and ad hoc committees. Disciplined, there was no charisma, became the priority. So what did this create, Mr. ODM? This created a space for technocrats rather than political celebrities. Enters Edwin SIFUNA. So 2008, 2013, we have SIFUNA getting into politics. Obviously, trained as trained as an advocate. He was a legal counsel in 2013-2017. He was appointed ODM's Director of Legal Affairs. The role placed him at the center of election petitions, coalition disputes, and internal discipline. During this period, if you remember, he built trust with the party leader Raila Odinga, popularly known as Baba, because he handled high-risk legal files and media briefings. Now, in 2018, at 31, and this should make a lot of people very jealous, at 31,
yes,
he was appointed or elected ODM Secretary General. They say that ODM is the biggest party. Wanga today said that it's the biggest party south of Limpopo, north of River Nile.
South of Sahara, north of Limpopo.
The post gave SIFUNA control over party administration, grassroots coordination, and the message discipline that followed the 2018 handshake. So 2019, 2021, there is national visibility through confrontation. 2022, we have a shift from party office to election power. Now, he vacated the SG, after that, he obviously he vacated the role and became the Nairobi Senator and won. Okay?
Yeah.
But things started going haywire after the handshake with His Excellency the President, William Samoei Ruto. People saying that he disrespected. And now we want to go back and listen to what Aswal Atuli and then him said after that happened. Mr. DJ Selector. DJ Selector. Yeah? Tunasikia ama tusikii?
10 bila break.
Nikasema, why is this young man contradicting the party leader? Kumbe sikujua ni nyinyi mko nyuma ya Sifu.
Wewe kama una maneno ya kusema, unaweza itwa huko useme mambo yako. Enda pia wewe ujieleze. Kama hauna namba ya Ivono Kwara, sema saa hii nikupatie. Hao watu, akiwemo huyu baba Raila Amolo Odinga, siku ile wataniambia SIFUNA, sasa wewe umeanza kuwa na maadili tofauti na chama, nitawaachilia hii kiti bila
Kama SIFUNA ameongea, ako na haki ya kuongea. Mimi sijasema ati mimi usiongee kwa chama namna hii. Sema hata kama unaona baba anafanya makosa, sema. Ndio ni mauti za chama.
Okay, so that is what has happened to the Ambo.
Yeah.
We want to go to the statement that was said, but I don't know if you have something to say. Maybe I should welcome you. You know, it is late night. It is 7:50. Maybe I should welcome you and say something before we go to the statement. Do you want us to listen?
Let's go to the statement.
Let us listen to the statement.
We are laying the context.
We are laying the context. Okay. We want to listen to the statement and then go to Oburu Odinga. I wish they could have played also Abdul
Swamad.
Discipline and leadership. The NEC expressed grave concern over the rising levels of indiscipline within the party, particularly at the senior leadership level. The committee underscored that ODM is governed by its constitution, the rule of law, and collective decision-making through its duly constituted organs. Having deliberated on matters relating to the conduct of the Secretary General, Senator Edwin SIFUNA, the NEC resolved to remove him from office with immediate effect in accordance with the party constitution and applicable laws. Effectively, the Deputy Secretary General, Honorable me, yours truly, Catherine Omanyo, will act in this position until a substantive holder of the position is elected. The NEC reaffirmed ODM's commitment to democratic governance, constitutionalism, social justice, and the pursuit for a broad-based, inclusive, and reform-oriented government that reflects the will and aspirations of the Kenyan people. Issued at Mombasa this 11th day of February 2026.
Thank you. Hakuna maswali.
This party is a party like a club. When you join a club, you have to obey the rules of that club. You cannot disobey the rules of the club and you continue to pride yourself that I am the party leader of ODM and yet I contradict everything that ODM is saying officially. If you have anything that you agree with or you disagree with, this is a forum for you as a NEC. Raise those issues here. Let members decide. But once the members have decided, if you are in minority, the minority will have their right to say and the majority will have their way. That is the principle of democracy. The minority have a right to say and the majority have their way. That is why you do elections. If you are in minority, you follow what the majority have decided. That is the cardinal principle of democracy, which I want our party to adhere to. And I'm very disappointed sometimes. We just come here, we agree, and then when we go out, we say something else. I hope some of this...
All right, so people of the internet, you've heard that Odhiambo Otieno. SIFUNA surely should have seen this coming. He should have surely seen this coming.
Well, he saw it.
And so?
There was a strategy, it's expected. What SIFUNA wanted, and which has come to pass, was for him to be made a political martyr. He is a martyr for the Gen Z, he's a martyr for the people, for the youth, he's a martyr of ODM, the people who stand for the ideals that Raila Odinga stood for. That is exactly what SIFUNA wanted. Because in politics, when you're persecuted, your street index goes up very fast. Today, I can tell you, the spirit of defiance that SIFUNA carried forth with him has been awakened across the nation. There's nothing strange about this.
Can you explain more about that?
Let me tell you something, Jagero. If you want to understand the politics of ODM, I want you to dissect it in the following manner. ODM has people who have taken over it, and these people, they've made a teen god. Remember when Israelites left Egypt and they were going back home? Along the way, somebody went up called Moses to bring the 10 commandments, or to talk to God, so to speak. As he went up to speak to God, some fellows down here said, Moses is taking too long, and it's God. We need something that we can see. We need a God we can worship here that we can see. And somebody came with a brilliant idea. Leteni pete na saa na nini hizo vitu mko nazo to smelt. So they smelted the ornaments and then made a teen god and told watoto wa Israeli. Ya kwamba huyu ndiye sasa Mungu wetu ambaye tunamwona hapa.
Okay.
Tutamsifu. Okay? And in ODM the same thing has happened. That Raila, who was the true spirit and who was the true owner of the vision, okay, of ODM, passing, left ODM in a little
disarray.
Disarray. There's a term I wanted to use, but I remember it would be too huge. In disarray. And quickly, a coup was
What is
organized.
the word that you wanted to use?
Imbroglio. ODM is in imbroglio.
Imbroglio.
Yes, you can Google it and find what it means.
Imbroglio.
Yeah, it is a state of chaos.
Instead of chaos.
Immense chaos. So ODM was left in that state of disarray and that state of imbroglio, where they don't know where to go. But in that moment, there's a very brilliant chap who sits in State House, who decided to organize ODM very fast. And he made sure that the NEC met. And in that meeting, the NEC nominated Oburu Oginga as the party leader. That is what we call the making of a teen god. Oburu Oginga is a teen god in ODM. He's not a natural god because Oburu Oginga, ever since he came into politics, has never won a nomination, leave alone an election.
Because there was no nomination.
Because he was living in the shadows of the brother.
So every time that there were a nomination was announced,
yes,
they would not.
There would be quasi-nominations.
Yeah.
It would be handed.
I hear he would be very sick and feeling cold.
And very cryy. He would go crying to the party leader. My brother. You cannot give everybody and me, you will only give me. You must give me something. And Raila used to find a way of giving Oburu something. And Oburu was given something even in Yala. Can you imagine the level of impunity that Oburu carries with himself? Going to Iyala as a youth representative. Can you imagine? At his age.
When?
This is just recently, before this last election. He was in Iyala. You can't remember. Before he came back as a senator for Bondo, for Siaya.
As a youth representative?
As a youth representative. That's why he was always called the youth leader.
At 70-something?
Yes, at late 70s. Okay? So Buru has never fought for anything in his life. And then he was made a teen god. Because as you see him, he cannot fight for anything. Okay?
What did we melt in order to have Oburu?
We melted everything that we ought to have had, including the deputy party leaders, who are very strong. Abdul Samad Sharif is very strong and young. We had Wanga, a chairperson, at 43. Pretty young. You name it. We had all these people who were pretty young in the party. But their dreams were banned. And the order was taken away. Whatever is happening in ODM, there's a strong hand. There's a very strong hand. And I remember, let me reveal here, that immediately Jacom was buried. I wrote to Winnie Odinga. A very long text. And I told her, start making your way out. There's no respect that's going to be served to you in ODM.
What is the disrespect that you saw happening at ODM or to the family?
Ageism kicked in immediately. Ageism, where they tell you are young, you know nothing. It is your father we respected. We can't respect you. This is not a party for the Railas. This is a party for the people. Yes, it is true. It's a party for the people. And this lady did not say she was coming for anything. She had not even said anything. But you already were hearing undertones. And people were telling, were throwing barbs at her. Okay? And so, whatever they have done today is a beautiful thing. These people don't have a brain of their own. I want you to, that's the best way I want you to operate from.
That there is a puppeteer.
There's a puppeteer in State House, Kenya. I'm not afraid to say it. That is fully in charge of the faculties of ODM.
If we are saying that there is this puppeteer in State House,
yes,
fair enough.
Yes.
But we have seen SIFUNA, poking the beehive.
Yes.
For a long time.
Yes.
Always going there, face, naked face, poking the beehive. Going into the lion's den.
Yes.
And the way big children can go and do something and then they run away, see if you can follow them.
Yes.
He has been doing that.
Yes.
So, do you want to tell me that State House has fattened him for slaughter?
If Raila was alive.
Okay.
And if you remember what I said on this very podcast sometimes back, if Raila was alive, he would play this game until 2026 August, this year August. that is when a decision will be made on how they were going to move forward. Okay? And that decision most probably would have been that ODM was going to field a presidential candidate that was going to be Raila Odinga. And he would come third and play powerful in terms of determining who was going to be president. So this SIFUNA faction, this other faction that is in broad-based, this was it was Raila's game, because Orange Democratic Movement says that those who have a minority say will have their say, and those who have the majority way will have their way. He was very clear about that, because there's nothing strange that SIFUNA is saying that he was not saying then. He said he will never support Ruto. He said, when Raila was alive, he said that even if we go with Ruto to the election, Ruto will lose. He said when Raila was, there's nothing SIFUNA was saying that is different. But now there's a strong hand, because this is what these people are not seeing, Jagero. What these people are not seeing is that they're being ushered out. This is what's called the poisoned chalice strategy in politics. The poisoned chalice strategy in politics, I've told you this before. When you go to the Catholic Church, they have that beautiful chalice that the priest takes a sacrament and says before he died, he took this, gave his disciples and said, take this, all of you. And then he drinks the wine, okay? Now that wine, initially when you went to Rome, kings would be invited, oppositionists would be invited, and would be welcomed with a poison chalice. Because a chalice is...
Was it really poison?
Yes, laced with poison. So you drink the wine, but in it, it's laced with poison. So when you leave, you're going to die, but you are not really poisoned in a hostile manner. You are welcome and given poison. And that is what this creaky crew in ODM is not understanding. And I sympathize with the level of numbness of their conscience that is bedeviling the party as current. Because these guys can't see that the party is being taken away from them very softly. Very softly. Because tell me, Jagero, from where you sit, do you think that this Omanyo,
she couldn't say the word constitutionalism.
She didn't go to school.
Is that so?
Where did she go to school? Have you ever heard of Omanyo until today? Who knows Omanyo? I don't even know where this lady comes from. She cannot even read. I mean, it is clear. The gentleman has played it. Even following a simple script. Penye umeandikiwa me, instead of mentioning your name, you say Honorable me. Okay? Can you tell me from where you sit that Omanyo,
okay,
Oburu Ginga, Abdul Samad Sharif, who else was there?
Wanga.
Wanga is a girl in the middle. I always make excuses for her because I sympathize with her. But she's a girl in the middle. But if she's truly deeply in it, then let me bundle her with them. And that whole team, do you think they carry the political vision of the nation today?
It would be hard to see the vision.
Because I would ask you, what is the direction that they're taking the ODM people to?
You see, that's a very difficult question, and I really can't answer it. First of all, I am not very clear on where Abdul Swamad is coming. I know he's the son of Nasir.
Yes.
Sarif.
Yes.
Nasir. Okay? I don't know his background clearly. I know Oburu is a doctor, but he's in his sunset years. I also know this girl called Omayo is interesting. Do you think that their hand was forced by the Constitution because she was the one deputizing Secretary General, Mr. Edwin SIFUNA? So perhaps because they talked a lot about constitutionalism, they talked about the rule of law, they talked about a club that has got rules. Phones don't ring in clubs, so and so. You don't go into a club with your
t-shirt.
Yes. So perhaps in the spirit of constitutionalism, they decided that let's obey the law. Let's not entrap ourselves by putting somebody else that then will create a lot of noise around it.
If they were brilliant, and if you are sure you want to negotiate in politics, you don't go in when you can be figured out. You don't go into a negotiation room when you can be figured out. And you don't negotiate at the terms of the person you want to negotiate with. You negotiate at your terms. That is why it's a very important strategy in politics to play good cop, bad cop.
What is playing good cop and bad cop in politics
In
actually
in the same party, you have people who are supporting the regime. In the same party, you have people who are not supporting the regime. So when you go to the table, when you're negotiating, you are talking about how can we have your house in order. So it becomes a topic in the negotiation table. But here you are going with your hands tied behind your back.
You are all in agreement.
You are agreeable, absolutely. In which place do you negotiate with your hands tied behind your back?
So I'm supposing that Oburu Odinga will go and tell Mr. Ruto that sasa unaona we have a problem with SIFUNA, they want this and that. We have another problem with Babu Owino, they want this and that. So these are the things they want.
Yes.
If you cannot give us this one,
Yes.
we can't go back and tell them we have
Exactly, because you go and say, vijana, vijana katika chama,
Yes.
pia wako na watu wao. Sisi pia kama wazee, tunapatiana tu guidance, but wale vijana wako na nini? Wako na watu. Na sisi ni mtu moja. We are coming as one people. Do you understand? Because I can tell you, as I was counting for you, these guys cannot gather as they are. ODM as is today, the ODM broad-based, as they are today, they cannot garner 1 million votes and give Ruto. In fact, look at Ruto's pundits online. They're laughing. They're happy. If the person you're negotiating with is happy, Jagero, if the person you're negotiating with is already happy, what do you think you're going to negotiate with them? You don't want the deputy president? You don't want the president? What do you want? What does Oburu and team want? You tell me. There's nothing. These guys are very uninteresting. They don't want anything. I don't know.
Perhaps Abdul Swamad wants to retain his governorship. Perhaps Gladys Wanga wants to retain her position in Homa Bay. Perhaps, who else is there? Omayo is a women rep from Busia, right?
I don't even know.
Perhaps, no. I think you don't be too condescending to her.
No, I don't
know.
There is no need.
There is no need.
I don't know her. I've never heard of somebody
called Omayo. But you just said that she's not well read. She has not gone to school.
I'm asking because, if you cannot read, literacy is
reading.
I
see. So you're judging her from what you've just seen.
Yeah, literacy is reading and writing. If you cannot read and write, she cannot read. it was there. I don't know her. I don't have anything against her, but I don't know her.
Do you think that if they were supposed to go and negotiate with the president, Mr. Ruto, then you'd want them to have a very strong SG?
Yes, because Jagero, I'll repeat to you, when in the art of negotiation, in the science of argument, when you step up to go and negotiate, you don't go at a lower price. If, for example, the salary that you want in a negotiation is, you are earning 50, you want an increment of 20,000. You don't go and start by saying, I want 70,000. No, you go and say, I want 120,000. Because remember, you don't get what you deserve. That's what Oburu is forgetting in this negotiation thing. You don't get what you deserve. You will always get what you negotiate for. And in the negotiation, always remember that the other party wants to give you nothing. In any case, they want you to go back to your position or you disappear. And that is what Oburu is not seeing in his team. They are super obsessed, and I don't know what fear they have. I don't know whether it is, for example, these governors. Is it the fear of corruption? Is it the fear that the government has the instruments of coercion, will coerce them? I think so, if you ask me. I think so. There's some fear in these people. They're not negotiating from a point of power. They're negotiating from a point of weakness. Because if you're with Babu, if you're with SIFUNA, if you're with that team, boy, oh boy, you get into the room, it's heavy. Guys will be like, okay, we have a problem. But you're getting into the room with you're saying, in fact, I want nothing. You just give me what you see. That's what I'm saying. Where Raila Odinga is lying tonight, he's rolling in his grave. He's rolling in his grave. Raila's soul is troubled. Raila's political soul is troubled. The family of Raila Odinga, those deep believers of Raila Odinga, are looking at what is happening and saying, oh no, not even 1 year after, this is what we have descended to. Because why did Raila maintain SIFUNA? I want you to ask yourself that question. Do you think Raila was stupid to maintain SIFUNA?
Was he his bargaining chip?
I can tell you and I repeat to you that Raila understood the art of political negotiation. You don't go in as a hostage.
Keep making noise.
Keep making noise. Keep demanding. Play opposition in government.
This is very interesting,
Yes.
Odiambo, because something is happening in Europe.
Yes.
Remember, Trump was trying to get Russia to the
Yes.
negotiating table.
Yes.
But the day before,
Yes.
they were raining bombs
Yes.
in Kiev.
Yes.
So you are out until you are in.
You are out until you are in. Look at America and Iran, for example. America is saying, hey, niggas, we need to talk about your nuclear issue.
Yes.
And at that time, Abraham Lincoln, that big warship, is headed with a platoon towards Iran. They have positioned missiles around Iran. All the bases, all the Middle East bases have been vacated. They are ready for war. And then you negotiate, come to the table. That is how you negotiate. You don't negotiate by saying, we don't have a problem with the nuclear weapons.
What did you call it? The platoon or what did you call it?
The platoon. That
The
is
ship,
coming.
the ship. The
Yeah,
ship is
hata wako
called.
huko nyuma.
Yes, wanasema hata tumewacha huko.
You don't, bro. That is what this team of Creaky crew is so daft. I've never seen a daft political combo like the one that has expelled SIFUNA.
Perhaps they are saying
Yes.
that in any case, we are not very interested in negotiation. Perhaps they are not.
That is what they're telling us. That is what they're not saying openly. But that is the truth. They're saying we are not interested in negotiation because we know our time is up. And I tell you and I repeat to you, I sympathize dearly with my sister, Gladys Wanga. She's
Why?
been caught in the wrong place. And she needs to grow some balls and exit this crew. It's a sinking ship. She has over 30 years of politics ahead of her. Uburu cannot take her anywhere. Uburu cannot even threaten her with party ticket. Today, if Wanga walks out of that crew and joins this other crew, I can tell you in 2027, she will maintain a governor seat in Homa Bay. But as things stand now, wait for Saturday. Wait for?
Saturday. What is happening on Saturday?
There will be another Linda Mwananchi. It is coming to Kajiado.
Oh, it's going to be rough.
Let me tell you, Oburu is a rocking chair. You know how a rocking chair behaves? Like this. A rocking chair keeps you busy, but takes you nowhere. That is Oburu Ginga. He's keeping people busy in ODM. He's taking them nowhere. Yeah.
So who is the young man? Who are the young people that are in this brigade?
There's nobody there. There's no value these guys are giving President Ruto. And President Ruto is very brilliant. He knows it. Remember, first of all, Jagero, do you know that President Ruto has put a deadline for these guys? That by May 6th, we have to enter pre-election pact. By May 6th. Are you aware of that?
Why are they doing that?
Effectively collapsing the decision-making structure of ODM. So that by May is a few months away, if not 3 from today, ODM is buried fully. Then President Ruto starts negotiating with the boys. Oh, that is what will happen. Take it to the bank. That is what is going to happen.
You are in, there is no way out.
Which way out? If he's telling you conditions, first of all, can you sort those boys who are making noise? I can tell you, these boys are also having a back channel communication to the president.
Really?
I can assure you, if I'm wrong, I don't choose to be right. But I can tell you, post May 6th, President Ruto will want this other team, than the current team. Because the political value and political currency of Oburu and his team ends effective May 6th usiku saseta.
What will they be doing? What will they be doing out? When they go out, what will they be doing?
They
will be swallowed in the government completely.
Yes, of course.
Will there be ODM?
There will be something called a shell of ODM. My friend Raila is sad tonight. I can tell you. But you know something? You cannot really wipe out the orange color. The orange color, when it is broken, it breaks into reds. It breaks into red flowers. So many red flowers.
Who is calling you on your phone? Is it Ruto?
Nobody's calling me. What do you think it's Ruto? It's people who are commenting there. So, by the time May 6th usiku imefika, Ruto and political currency, ya Oburu and etc. Done. Now he goes to the next level of negotiation. Ruto is always 10,000 steps ahead of these guys. And that is what these guys are not seeing tonight. Okay? They're not seeing it completely. So of course there's the merger path. They're merging. ODM and UDA is merging officially. And I've told you, SIFUNA tonight is a what? Is a political martyr. Exactly what he wanted. Now the next thing, Ruto is a brilliant politician. Do you know what is going to happen? You're going to see the persecution of these people to a level that you've never seen. And what does that do? Ruto does not want to deal with Gachagua as an opposition leader.
Okay.
Because Gachagua versus Ruto is a very dangerous war. Because Gachagua is a loose mouth that can tilt this nation into bloodshed in a minute. If you don't know, listen to Gachagua very well and what he says. He has a different kind of thinking that is very radical. And Ruto would not want to face Gachagua, I can tell you, for real.
How would he avoid him?
He would avoid him by creating a new opposition, center of opposition. And that is doing away with Okinoburu. Okinoburu have no political currency, political capital, even in opposition. They don't have it. So he goes for people who have a new currency that is going to excite the masses. So he's creating a new opponent. He's defining the game.
In your estimation, there are so many moving chips. There are so many moving chips. And Ruto is looking at the king, is looking at the queen, is looking at the chessboard.
Is a chess master.
And is a chess master?
Ruto is a chess master.
I think that Babu is going to give him a run for his money. I have a feeling that Babu is going to give Ruto a run for his money.
And Ruto knows that.
And that is why I was telling you that I think that Babu Owino and Winnie Odinga are the ones controlling the opposition. Sifuna is the trumpet. But I think the machines...
You're yet to see it.
The Cambridge Analytica... the Cambridge Analytica behind the smaller opposition.
Yes.
So we used to have Raila as the behemoth of opposition.
Yes.
Then Raila sinks, right? And then we have this the creaky crew. But then now there is this small one that is coming out, that is bubbling under the surface. And then we have Gachagua shooting from the hip.
Yes, shooting from the hip. Pop, 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 pop. He's a dangerous man. You don't want him to be facing you. Because he shoots from the hip. He just, you don't want that. You want somebody who...
Anyway, I don't want to take it away from you. You are telling me how Ruto wants to move all these chips.
Yes.
So he vanquishes ODM, the creaky crew, as you call them.
Yes.
Then he remains with the Babu Owino. He remains with SIFUNA. He remains with the Winnie Odinga. But then there is also a man from the mountain, the roaring lion from the mountain. How does that play?
So he's of course extinguishing the jivu that is remaining in the old order of ODM.
Yeah.
Anamaliza na fire extinguisher. Shh, maliza kabisa. Mpaka inaisha. There's nothing.
Annihilate.
Annihilation, correct. I like that English. He's annihilating them. So by the time these guys try to raise their heads in 2027 or in 2026 towards the end, do you think they can make about turn? Oburu and team. Do you think they can make about turn?
They will be tied deep in this mud.
We say in Luo, it's so weird yet.
Your head in shit.
Your head in shit. If you lift your head like this, it's thinking bad. People will even beat you. Because when you were getting your head in shit, they were telling you, don't. That place is a little bit murky. Don't do it. Then you did it. Then now you're lifting your head, like, leta maji. Weka kidogo ili tuonge. So these guys are not going to be able to do a roundabout or 360. They're not able to do it. So, because they're not able to do a 180 or 360, they're gone. Ruto and Jagiru, you know, we always talk about things here and they come to pass. I've told you, Ruto likes to be the oldest man in the room. Remember that philosophy? That Ruto wants to be called the Mzee. Ruto is 50-something, or is he 60? I doubt if he's 60. I think he's 50-something. He wants to be referred to as the Mzee in the room. He doesn't like any other Mzee in the room. So every other Mzee is going, must go. And he's doing away with them.
You told me that he did away with all the Wazees in Rift Valley.
All of them. There is no Mzee in Rift Valley that is vying for any seat. There's none. Even Isaac Ruto, who tried one time and was saying...
I saw him in Senator the other day.
Yeah, he was trying to say, mkutano itaisha. Mkutano na itaisha. He was extinguished from Bomet politics. And he had to come back to Ruto and kneel down and crawl. And ask Ruto nipatie minofu. And he was put at JSC.
He was annihilated.
Completely. So Ruto understands that game. Mm-hmm. Now, there's nobody amongst this ODM crew that will be older than Ruto. And that is why I can tell you that by all means, the only person that Ruto will salvage from this team, because there's one person he has to salvage, and that is my friend Gladys. She'll be pulled out. There's something she's doing, I believe. Then when she's pulled out, now Ruto is redefining by creating a whole new opposition pivot or opposition fulcrum point to have fresh levers on the politics of Kenya. You redefine. In politics, if you want to be a successful politician, Jagero, I've consulted for them. One thing you must do is that you must define the person who is going to oppose you. You must take control of this person completely, end to end. That whatever they say, whatever they do, and you must constantly put them to their defense. My friend, Ruto is not only a politician, he's also a strategist. And remember, it is this same team, Ruto, YK92, this same team that disoriented Jaramogi and created a false narrative for Matiba that he was good enough for the presidency. And when he came back from London, he was received at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport with a multitude of supporters. He didn't even know where these guys came from. He thought this was natural. Let
the people decide.
And the people are coming with Matiba for president.
I hear those ones were done by Moi.
Yes, it was
and
Moi.
His friends.
It was Lin Jiru, the press secretary of Moi, and the team of YK92 that did that.
Kina Jirongo.
Yes. So when Matiba came, he thought because
Ruto was following them with a Bible in hand.
Of course.
Noting.
He's a politician.
Taking notes.
He's a very sharp person. He knows what's going on. And so he's organizing the opposition. Simple. There's nothing new about this. Oman, you cannot talk. Oburu has already surrendered. He surrendered. In fact, he's on his knees. He's not even standing anymore.
We don't want that position of yours.
We don't even want your deputy president position.
What do
you want? What do you want, surely?
But why did he say that statement? Why did he say that statement?
I tell you, when you're used to getting things for free, you don't know how to work for any. When I told now work, you'll be like, no, I can't work. Just give me what's there. Because Oburu is looking like he's in a state of despair. He's a disappointing fellow. Oburu is disappointing. I don't know if you feel the disappointment, even you who didn't like Raila. I'm very sure that something could be disturbing you.
About Oburu?
About Oburu and how he's maneuvering this thing.
I feel like it is high time all the dead things are buried.
All the dead things
are buried, yes.
Like which one?
I have never had any respect for ODM. I've never had any respect for them. They talk around kitambo sana.
Because they beat you once in Kisumu. I mean, Jagero, you need to move on from that thing. It was only once, bro.
Kanyaga Jingo. No, I have always stated the story as to the reason why I have never liked ODM.
Yes.
And that's why I was telling you that when Winnie was speaking at Citizen TV and talking about democracy in the ODM, the D in democracy, I was very annoyed with that statement because it was very dishonest of her to come to the people of Kenya and talk about D in the democracy. For the longest time, there has never been a democracy in the D. It has always stood for demagoguery.
Demagoguery.
Yeah.
Whichever way you may want to take it, it's okay. But let me tell you something. This whole struggle, now let's look at where is it going to. Let's now understand the pivot.
The pivot, yes. Because that is the question that I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
SIFUNA saw it coming. He knew it was going to happen
today. Of course. It was a matter of when, not if. It's a matter of when. And the when has come. Now, what does this do? Do you think it adds political capital to the Kriki crew or it adds political capital to the other team?
It adds a lot of political capital. It's going to be massive over the weekend.
Yes. Why? Because you're persecuting the man who is speaking the truth.
And they're going to be free.
Yes. Now they're free. It's calculated. In fact, if I was next to SIFUNA, I would whisper in his ears, and Babu Owino, that let's test the popularity of ODM. Resign. Let's go for by-election. Yes. Resign, and let's go for by-election. So that you test the actual popularity. I can tell you SIFUNA will be back to the Senate with a new party, and that will mark the actual death of ODM. If I was next to him, I will tell him, because I have seen. If he resigns today, and Babu Owino resigns today, and they go back to the people, they will, I don't know how to put it, they will revitalize themselves in a way that is unimaginable. They're going to gain street legitimacy that's unimaginable. They're going to gain the soul of the party. They're going to come with the spirit of Raila. And I told you that Raila will influence the 2027 elections comfortably from his grave. It is happening. This is realignment.
Yeah. Anyway, there is something that you're telling me. There is a very strong third force after the demise of ODM, quote unquote. May, you said the end of May or when?
6th of May.
6th of May. Why the 6th of May, though, by the way?
Maybe it's not public information, but I'm giving you privileged information then. If it's not public, I thought it was public. That 6th of May,
because SIFUNA also had an ultimatum for the 30th of March.
Yes. So 6th of May, wamesema, we must finish this thing. You know, Ruto is a man who works with time. I can tell you, I know how it is behaving. This is Ruto. Is Ruto who is saying, by the end of 6th of May, we must sign this pact, or we must begin official negotiation, or we must, whatever it is. But 6th of May, UDA ODM pact will be done. Effectively, Ruto has swallowed the what? The ODM party. Effectively. That's in simple terms. So after that, now we enter. Now the third force has been born.
What do they say on Saturday?
You will see.
But what do you see them saying?
It's going to be basically a funeral. It's going to be a mourning. These people are going to mourn.
A mourning or a celebration?
It's going to be a mourning. You don't celebrate such a thing. Such a thing you mourn.
Who is mourning?
The children of Raila. The true children of Raila. The true children of the party are going to mourn.
The demise.
The demise of the party.
Of the party.
Because the party is gone. Without SIFUNA, there's no ODM.
There is a renaissance.
There's a renaissance of the people. There's no ODM. Because a political party is not meant to tail wag. Okay?
Do you have to put that?
Yeah. True. It's not meant to tail wag or put its tail between the legs. A political party is meant to exert pressure. We cannot have a democracy, but you're being absorbed into government like that. Raila was not silly to ensure that he's in government, but is checking the government. This is a strategy, boy. These guys have no strategy. They are plain, they are blank, they are empty, you name it, they're a shell.
Why have they called for a neck finally?
Now.
Yes.
And that is the point that I wanted you to ask.
Okay.
Now, these guys have called for a neck.
Okay.
The neck is on 27th of what again? Of March.
27th of March.
Of March.
Yeah. 3 days before SIFUNA's deadline.
What is neck without the young men?
I have a feeling, do you think that Babu is going to show up? Because he has always maintained that I want to eat a neck, Babu Owino, apewe party leader.
It's going to be the Shungwaya.
What does that mean?
When Bantus were coming into Kenya in 200 AD, they migrated through Uganda and towards the southeastern part of Kenya to a place called Shungwaya, where there was a separation, an explosion, where the Bantus, who are the Luyas, went to the other side, the Kikuyus went like this, the Kambas went like that, okay? Shungwaya. Shungwaya is the rebirth. So 27th is the Shungwaya.
Is Babu Owino going to be on the ballot?
Babu Owino must show up at the NDC.
But if they take the party, then SIFUNA comes back.
No. Of course you know, you and I know, that on 27th it's going to be drama. It's going to be what I call krinkum krankam of politics at that place. It could be.
I have a feeling
yes.
that huyu jamaa wa Raila,
Yes.
huyu brother wa Raila,
Yes.
alienda akamwambia mzee huko House on the Hill kwamba unajua tunataka kufuta huyu kijana alafu tuite ile kitu.
Ile NDC.
Tukishaita hiyo kitu,
Yes.
we want your protection. Kwa sababu wale vijana watakuja kuvuruga sisi.
Yes. So that NDC is going to be a state NDC. It's not going to be a party NDC.
Oh.
Yes. Because the first thing you do is you first...
Do you know that is what the fixer told me in the car?
Aha.
That's what the fixer told me in the car.
Yes.
But hiyo kitu yule jamaa ndo lazima atatoa vijana waende walinde hiyo
It's
kitu.
going to be the state NDC. You will see the level of security there. It will be amazing. Meticulous state security. State. Pana what your kawaida men in black? No. State. Then Babu will now move in for the show because Babu knows where he is. That of course, when the state decides to do something, you cannot beat the state when they still have the power. It's very difficult to beat the state.
Hapana huwezi kuja na vijana yako.
You will come. No, you'll come with the pressure. Jagero, can I dare you something? That the day NDC is happening, we go there.
Me sina legs. I don't have the legs. I have a serious phobia for multitudes.
Jagero, that NDC will be the most interesting political activity in the run-up to the 2027 election. Because if Babu today summons his Nairobi team, or it says all the people who believe in the spirit of Raila show up on 27th in Nairobi, he will not facilitate assent, but those people will be here. Then he says we are marching, 1 million man march. You know Babu understands political theatrics. He's a king of political drama. He's going to effect it because he's the de facto and de jure opposition chief as current. De facto and de jure.
Ile ingine ni a mountain.
Gani hiyo? Ile ingine ile watu wamekaa huko si sasa wataki kucheza hii siasa. Wame self-contained. Solitary confinement huko Mount Kenya huko. Yeah.
I think Rigiji is missing a lot.
He's missing a lot.
By staying there.
I sympathize with that.
He's very obsessed with the northern Kenya right now. I don't understand for what reason.
You know, for a long time, there's been an issue between the Northerners and the Kikuyus.
Really?
Yes. In terms of business, there's been a perceived enmity. Because these guys are all huge in business.
I know.
Okay.
Because
and if you go to
even the restaurants that were in town,
yes,
that were being run by the people from the mountain,
yes,
were all bought out.
They're all bought out. You go to any county today.
And they got into real estate.
Yes, go to the county today. Any county. The people who do the highest tenders in those counties are rich people. They're the Northerners. The Northerners are flowing. I used to sell toothbrushes in 2019 from Busia border till Machakos, which was my area. All mini-marts are owned by the Northerners. All mini-marts. You cannot move 3 mini-marts without finding a Northerner owning one. So they've basically muzzled out these fellows. And the Northerners are again in the criminal justice system. They're having all the levers of security in Kenya. Remember, in the world, the whole world, for people to grow economically, they always grow on top of a crime. Black market. The Northerners are glowing. And I said in that episode of Wash, I said, these Somalis doing whatever they're doing, this money is not clean. And I'm not hating them. But that is just the truth.
But also,
and then a few months later, it was validated.
But also I think,
yes,
I also think that sometimes we ought to be very careful when we say that the entire money is not clean. I think there is also a lot of clean money.
Of course.
Because remember, these people are also very good at coming together and putting resources together and doing something as a unit.
Jagero, I want to remind you that once you have a failed state, that is not that is running, the only way you can grow is through crime.
I wouldn't call it
I
wouldn't call it a crime.
Because once the state has failed,
I wouldn't call it a crime.
Just listen.
I wouldn't call it a crime.
Just listen.
Because the reason why I disagree with you in calling it a crime,
yes,
I think that is what is the word? What is the word? There is a word that I'm looking for.
Look for it.
There is when you bundle people together,
Yes, stereotyping.
stereotyping.
Yes.
Yeah, I
No,
think.
I'm not stereotyping them.
Yeah, I think
They are genuine businessmen amongst the Somali
and
community.
they work really hard.
They're those who are
Odhiambo, do
genuine.
you know?
Yes.
I don't know the courage
Yes.
I can gather to go and set up a mini-mart in a far-flung area
Like
in
Mogadishu.
Garissa.
Yes.
In Garissa or what is the root of calling it? Mogodashi.
Modogashe. Yes.
But in my town, in my little town in Katito, we have 2 mini-marts that are owned by these guys.
Yes.
They are sitting there with their lesos, they are bringing in stuff there, and I don't think I think they are really hard workers.
I can tell you, there are those who are hard workers. And I'm not talking about those who are hard workers. I'm saying there's a group that has been thriving so well and they've rattled the Kikuyus. And if you look at this group, it has been revealed, Jagiro. It is not me saying. I only hinted. Trump confirmed it, that there's $39 billion that has escaped the American market. Let me finish. This $39 billion that has left American market, okay? It is not left in terms of market. It's left in terms of fleecing of the government. And they've directly pointed, this money has headed towards East Africa, directly East Africa. And the Nation Daily did a whole piece about it, and they pointed to the real estates that these guys are having. Okay? So I'm explaining to you that this fractional development or gradual development or sudden development by the Northerners rattled the Kikuyu business community.
I understand the rattling of the Kikuyu business community.
Yes.
But I think that as a people, we should be very careful when we say that these people have done this and what they have supposedly done is criminal. That is what I don't agree with. Because it is divisive.
Let's say, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let's say we don't have proof, okay?
Yes.
Even if Trump said it, Nation wrote it, we don't have proof.
Yes.
That's what we are saying.
Exactly.
So we don't want to bundle them. But the point is not that. The point is that Gachagua and this fellow, who I call the Northerners, is super obsessed because the Northerners are having a dalliance with President Ruto. Also remember, and I need to remember this day again, that in 2032, the probability of us having a Northerner as a deputy president is 1. 2032. And so Gachagua has to coat them afresh and kill the fire. Because if you don't have the Northerners, they have the money.
Yes.
They control the economy. You go to CBD Nairobi today and stand at Nation Center, and opposite it, that whole street to the end is the Northerners. They've removed all the nightclubs.
And when you say Northerners,
yes,
I hope you remember that Northerners are Kenyans.
Of course, they're Kenyans.
Right?
Of course, they're Kenyans.
So from the detour,
yes,
let's go back to the meat of the conversation. Let's go back to the meat of
Bring it back.
So, we obviously the NDC is going to be smooth.
It won't be smooth.
The NDC
it won't be smooth.
Where do you think they're going to hold it?
Let me guess. NDC Nairobi, Bomas is not available.
Yes.
Kasarani.
KICC is available.
KICC cannot. KICC is at the center of the town. It cannot happen.
Can happen there. So it's going to be at Kasarani.
Kasarani.
They're going to have elections.
Of course.
They have started saying that Uburu is their de facto leader, and that's what they're going to confirm at the NDC.
It's a teen god. What do you do with a teen god? A teen god must just be hoisted. You remember when Moses went to Egypt, okay? And God, I think, talked to him. And there were snakes all over that were biting. And I think he was told to drop the staff, it's called the staff he had. And that staff turned into a snake. He was told to hoist that snake and tell the people, anybody who looks at the snake will be healed. Do you remember? Have you ever seen this health center signs? They always have a snake on a pole. That's where it comes from. If you look at the snake, you'll be healed. So the people who I call Tingba Dayawa, those ones whose hands have to be lifted for them to be elected in ODM, are the ones who are trying to maintain the status quo. That they're defending the party leader so much that the party leader will have to lift their hands. Because Oburu, truly, I don't mean wrong to him. I don't mean disrespect to him. But I'm starting to wonder, is senility kicking in?
Away from senility.
Yeah.
So
Because you can't make decisions.
So ODM is vanquished.
ODM is gone.
Is vanquished. We have Babu Owino and SIFUNA, Winnie Odinga, and the rest of them.
I don't know why you're introducing Winnie though. I don't see her.
Winnie is there.
No, you're imagining.
Winnie is always there.
Okay.
There is no way that Winnie can look at SIFUNA akigonga mtu na analia. Anacheka bro. Anacheka. Huyu msichana anacheka mali yako.
I think tonight she's said something.
Yeah. Maybe you should call her now.
I could call her.
Winnie's not gonna pick.
Yeah, but she's not used to picking calls like that. Yeah, the people I can call who can pick. Like if I call the mom, she will pick, but that will be disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah, that is fine. So anyway, he remains
Yeah.
with the so good crew.
Yes.
Ruto faces them. What does he do?
Now you know
What does he promise them?
You know what worries Ruto, and that is why Ruto wants to do away with this team very fast, this cricket crew very fast. Ruto knows that where we are headed, boys, it is too long. We don't need to dilly-dally. We need to define these guys. Because working with an opposition that is defined is easier. And so Ruto is trying to do this. That, hey, you know what? This old team, they don't have any political capital. They can't give me numbers. Anyway, I can go to the people directly. These guys cannot even call for demonstration. I dare them. I dare Oburu. I dare Wanga. I dare all those people to call for a demonstration tomorrow to show support for the president. That is not mobilized. I dare them to do it. And I also dare Babu and SIFUNA to call for demonstration tomorrow. That is not mobilized. And let's see who has the numbers. And that's what Ruto wants. The person with the
numbers.
Ruto does not need to be pleased. At the end of the day, Ruto needs numbers. Okay? And the only thing, you know, these guys, when they're fighting, when Gachagua, Kalonzo, Nani are having their tribal cocoons following them, and this team of Wakinababu are also having their supporters, the young men, supporting them. The opposition is effectively, the votes are effectively divided. But I told you, look beyond 2027. Because in case a miracle happens and Team Gachagua and Kalonzo and who decide to back the person that these young people will front as a presidential candidate, Ruto is going home early in the morning.
Say that again.
In case, I repeat, that Gachagua, Kalonzo, Martha Karua, and that team of opposition, as is currently, decide to back the candidate that these young people will come with as their presidential candidate, Ruto is going home early in the morning. Early, very early in the morning. Very early. Asubuhi na mapema. Gone. Because people will have a reason to come out and vote. It will be a 202. But a 202 for the young. Not a 202 for the old. And the only sacrifice... the only sacrifice... The only sacrifice, Jagero, that these old guys have to do for the people of Kenya, the only sacrifice that Kalonzo has been in government has to do is to support this new team.
Who is your preferred presidential candidate?
I don't have a preferred presidential candidate as of now because I have not figured out who that person can be.
But you told Babu to be president and he refused. He wants to be governor.
No, I didn't tell him to be president.
But you said it.
We agreed 2032, not now. He'll contest 2032, not now. If he has to contest now, then he has to forget about the governorship. And politics does not operate like that. Politics operates like the tides. When it is on the high, you swing with the wave. And the wave currently that Babu is best fit for Nairobi governor. Let him swing with it and play activist politics as a governor.
So SIFUNA right now and Babu Owino and
Yes.
Winnie Odinga is the
tag team.
Is Raila Odinga
Reincarnate.
after the during Ford Kenya?
You can call it, it's an NBP of 1997. They're going to sweep. Look, I can tell you, 100%. Let Oburu and team take certificates and give these same MPs who are currently sitting in the position, give all of them the certificates. Give all of them direct nomination. Don't call for ODM nominations. 2027, August 10th in the morning, You will be seeing on Citizen TV. We will be announcing here on the podcast. You will be seeing on our screens. It will be challenging. It will be interesting. People will be diarrheaing these old people because it will be young men, young women, young men, young women who will not be part of this ODM old crew. It will be just young men, young men. It's going to be an
With which party?
With the party that they will have. The party that has the spirit of Raila Odinga. Because you know that this one has no spirit of Raila Odinga in it.
Renaissance Party of Kenya.
People's Renaissance Party, if that is the party they're coming.
People's Renaissance Party.
Because Kenya needs a renaissance. Kenya needs a what?
Why? What
a
has
renaissance.
happened? Are we at the end of something?
Yes.
We're at the end of what?
We're at the end of something. We are at the end of the true opposition politics. And we're at what I call very bitter personal politics instead of ideological politics. And this young team is reintroducing that new energy of ideological politics and not personal politics. Do you understand me? Because if you look at Ruto, it's a cult. Ruto and these people is a cult. It's huge. Those guys are massive. They're organized. They're meticulous in the way they do their things. If you look at Gachagua, uchungu ya hapa. If you look at
uchungu ya wapi?
Hapa. Ni uchungu.
Nyinyi mmewaja jamaa na
No, is the truth.
Nyinyi mmewaja jamaa na 30 milioni analipa kila mwezi.
Bwana, unajua uwezi toa serikali kwa mdomo ya mtu namna hiyo. Hapa. Jamaa halali. He's just strong. The guy is not sleeping. If you look at Kalonzo, him is a statesman without a role. So he's doing everything to turn the ship upside down. He doesn't have a role. That's why statesmen are always given libraries at the end of their term.
Foundations.
If you don't give them foundations and libraries and AU positions, they will do everything in their power to tilt the boat. Because they have the time, they have little people here and there.
Like Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes. Uhuru Kenyatta is idling somewhere. He needs to be given something serious. So that
Ruto ananyang'anya hiyo kitu yote.
But si alifanya hiyo immediately. Wao hukuona hii kitu ya Kongo hii hakuna kitu pale. Hakuna kitu pale kwa Kongo.
Ataki.
So mzee yuko area. Mzee yuko area atembei. He needs to be engaged in UN, sijui what.
Lakini yeye pia na uji yake hataki kutembea.
No, he's very ready. The German is
German
ready. It's just that there's a lot of
kuna uji mahali anaendanga uji, nani atapea yeye uji huko?
Uji iko. Kuna watu wana
New York atapata uji wapi?
Uji iko New York, maybe Saudi Arabia ndakuna uji. Uji iko kila mahali. Okay? So, Jagero. Congratulations to President Ruto for effectively toppling and conducting a bloodless coup in ODM in terms of removing SIFUNA.
Do these
congratulations
people,
to
so
President
there is a back end. There is a back end communication
between
these people.
Between who and who?
Can we read some of the comments?
Yeah.
There are very many people of the internet. For the first time, we have almost clocked 3,000 people watching at this at one given time.
It's huge.
Yeah. 3,200. That is amazing. People of the internet, thank you very much for loving Political Headache. When I started this thing, I did not dream that in just under a year we will be gathering at night and 3,000 people watching. So really, thank you from the bottommost part of my heart. Really, thank you from the bottommost part of my heart, and thank you to this man, to this bald man. Let's.
You can see some questions.
Acting SG is useless as transaction members. I am Team SIFUNA milele na milele. That is what he's saying. And then somebody is saying, hate the messenger, not the message, but I guess you are too stupid for that. Omanyoka from Busia.
Ochikam from Busia.
Full stop.
Okay.
I don't know why they're saying that.
Uh-huh.
The same way Central Kenya was robbed away from Uhuru, the same way ODM has gone. That is, who is going? That is Joseph saying. Mr. Joseph Majau, another guy, is also saying the last nail in ODM's coffin is what they have done today.
Yes.
Okay? Moha Suleiman, there is no tribe or language called Luya. That's a hoax. In Western, there are about 21 tribes. I don't know whether we talked about that.
Shungwaya. When I talked about Shungwaya and I said...
Oh, we talked about Shungwaya.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Then somebody is saying, Mr. Agri Wetaba is saying that finally some sanity back to ODM. I want you to fly some of those comments on the screen, please, so that what not necessarily what I have done, I've read. The Oburu and the team want to be in government, but the SIFUNA's team want to form government. Those two are water and paraffin. They cannot be in one container. Okay? We also have Mr. This name does not show. It's called Gen Z Nation. Mimi hakuna kitu Zuzuz anaweza kunishow. Zuzuz ni nani?
I don't know.
I don't know what Zuzuz is. Maybe you should explain to us what Zuzuz is. There is somebody also saying, why didn't they form government in 2022 when they had everything, including G4S?
When they had everything, including G4S.
Kina Uburu.
Kibicho.
Oh, G4S.
Mimi niko na shida na Kibicho kwa hiyo. Kibicho alituuza.
Amesema mtu mwingine anasema Mr. John anasema kaini na hiyo ODM yenu kwani iko nini?
Wacha chuki.
Wacha chuki. Aya, Dr. Agnes Zani is also a deputy SG. They could have passed it on to her than this Omanyo lady. Okay. Mwingine anasema some went with Ford Kenya, some went with ODM Kenya. They have started from scratch. Now why is ODM today? Starting all over again. Can't be a crime if it might be so. Mr. Gladys Gaya saying, where Sifuna will be, I will be there. ODM is gone. In fact, it went with Raila. Moha Suleiman saying, my wife comes from Asembo, but you lose. You are very cheap. Konga kabisa. Bado napumua. Mr. Nelby saying, but if Akina Sifuna are not interested with negotiation, what do they want?
Let me fly in a comment there.
Okay.
Allow me.
Yes.
Jagiro, I would like our audience, especially those who are asking questions, I think let's give them the chance of also understanding a few things.
Yeah.
If somebody says that kwani wakina Sifuna wanataka nini, I want our people to understand that you don't need to beg for development. You don't have to beg for development. It is your right. In proper democracy such as ours, which is a proper democracy, if you look at people who are competing us in East Africa, you see Rwanda, you see Uganda, you see Tanzania, we are way ahead. After the president is elected, that president is for us all. And he serves the people equally. He does not become a president of a sect. So let people not tell us about what Sifuna is going to do or what they're going to, how they're going to negotiate. You don't need to negotiate. Let them be and want government. Let Sifuna and team also structure their message and tell us what they can do if they want government. Those who listen to the message will turn up and vote. What somebody must do is your role is very easy. Listen. If it is appealing to your interest and is appealing to your future, please turn up and vote. If it is whoever, if it is Gachagua that is voted in 2027 as the president of Kenya, he has to serve all of us. And our democracy has come of age that when someone like Gachagua misbehaves again, he will be impeached once more. You've seen it. In the history of Kenya, a deputy president has never been impeached. This is the first time. That also opened the portal that the president can be impeached, and it lowered the threshold for impeachment. It really lowered the threshold. So let nobody say, or let nobody wonder that why is Wakina Sifuna not negotiating for the government? No, you don't need to negotiate. It's a democracy. We go for elections. Those who have the might will win. Those who lack the might will not win. And that is it. That's just democracy. Let us not kowtow and saying, people need to be. We cannot all be in government. In any case, we are all in government. What we are saying is ideologies differ. Every constituency in this country is represented. They form part of the legislature, which oversees the budget, which makes the laws. So everybody literally is represented in government. What we are competing for is different ideologies that is going to improve our lives. That's something we must agree. So mtu asiseme ati, sawa kina Sifuna wanaenda kunegotiate aje kama wanataka kukaa nje. Hakuna mnataka kukaa nje. Everybody wants state power and it is democracy. Let's give them a chance. Raila was young, he did it. Ruto was young, he did it. It is their turn. Let them also fight for it. And Ruto, by the way, I am sure where he is seated, Jagiro. He must be watching this gentleman in awe. I can tell you.
Because they're a march.
I can tell you.
They're coming very close to a march.
I can tell you, Jagero. People hate you when you're gullible. Oburu and team, Ruto does not have any regard for them from his heart. Deep here, he has no regard for them. Because you don't do that to a political party that is 20 years old. He has no regard for them. But it is working for his political interests, so sour. He has more respect for people who can walk out and say, you know what, let's fight out as men.
They could not negotiate with SIFUNA at all.
They couldn't negotiate with SIFUNA.
Why not?
They are afraid of these people.
Why couldn't they give them the party?
They're afraid because people are afraid here. You know, the jealousy in politics is worse than the jealousy in love. Do you know that?
What does that mean?
The jealousy in love, where if you find your partner talking to another person, ni kidogo. The jealousy in politics is far much worse. So, and their interests, these are governors, remember. Most of them are governors. They're holding executive passes, which means they have money. And as a governor, you have some float that you can just reach. At the end of the day, it's not about the service to the people. At the end of the day, it's not about the service to the people. It's about the service to their pockets. Those are political realities. So these guys are defending their personal selfish interests. Wakina SIFUNA are saying, okay, it might be that we're also going for our selfish interests, for our seats. But also, we are blending it with the interest of the larger community. Because do you think the money problem that SIFUNA could be having now, do you think Ruto cannot sort it?
He can.
The money problem that Babu could be having, do you think Ruto cannot sort it? But these people are looking beyond the money. They're saying, hey, above there, yonder, behold, we see a Kenya that is different. We see a Kenya that is working differently.
Don't give me a diamond ring while I see the block behind you.
Exactly. I can see something else. And we must sojourn, albeit in peace, and reach the promised land where Raila Odinga was taking us. And that promised land is Canaan. And that Canaan is where every Kenyan can wake up and be sure that the money is not going to be stolen. They can wake up and be sure that health is going to work for them. They can wake up and be sure that their children are not told, report to school, and capitation is not sent to school. I can tell today, capitation have not been sent to schools. That's the truth. My father is a principal. And he told me the man that has been saying, kidogo sana. It cannot sustain the children there. A Kenya where you wake up and you go to school and finish your training and you're sure you're going to get a job. And even if you don't get a job, you are sure that you can get a gig that can sustain you. Not a Kenya where you have to wag your tail for you to get something. Not a Kenya where everybody's focusing on politics. A Kenya where we can all do our individual businesses without waiting for handouts from government. That is the courage of this team of SIFUNA. That let's look beyond the money. Yes, the money is available. The government can buy literally everybody. But beyond there lies the dream. And we must delay gratification today. We must say that today, yes, the money could be available. But how about tomorrow? How about our children? Because, Jagero, our children will not forgive us. Like today, we are not forgiving our parents for what they did. And what they did was, they accepted to be lied to. And they didn't stand up for the rights. And their children who are us today are telling them, sit down. You don't know how to use your vote. You don't know how to use your voice. We will use ours. Our children, we don't want them staring into our eyes and asking us, why did you fail? We don't want our children going to the streets and being shot dead. We want our children going to the street and being protected and being escorted by the police to go and deliver their petitions and come back home safe. That is the dream that we're looking at. And I am firmly, as an ODM member at heart, in the belief that SIFUNA represents the original dream that Raila had.
Yeah, thank you very much, Odhiambo. Somebody has said, now we are sure that ODM party has become the Omena party.
Be kind.
Huyu jamani amesema. Anaitwa Suleiman. Suleiman amesema hii kitu sasa ni Omena party. So thank you very much, people of the internet. It was really, really nice having you guys. We could not read all the comments, but we are so glad that you have decided to join us in talking about SIFUNA's expulsion from ODM. These people, a lot of people saw this coming, but we did not know that it was going to be today. Please consider subscribing. If you are watching me, and you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit on that notification bell so that whenever there is a video and a live like this, you can always be the first person to be notified.
Just before you finish,
thank you very much. I want to give Odhiambo one chance as he finishes.
Let me say this. A few years ago, or a few months ago, President Ruto stood and talked to a team that was being persecuted, that was coming from ODM, and told them that don't worry, even me, I was persecuted in ODM. And you cannot be a great leader if you're not persecuted in ODM. Any great leader that has ever become from ODM has always been persecuted by ODM. So SIFUNA and team, that the making of the great leaders. ODM is an academy. And for you to become a great man, you must pass through a great player. You must pass through the furnace. And these people know that this is the path because Ruto did it. All those who are in ODM who left have succeeded. And SIFUNA is no exception.
All right. Thank you very much, Odhiambo. Thank you very much, people of the internet. You have a good night, and until another episode, bye for now. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjegero.co.ke.